The derivative of red pill is what people think red pill is. So for instance, people, when Andrew Tate says something, he goes, here's another red pill comment. You'll see like people on the Daily Wire saying that. But Andrew Tate specifically said he's not red pill. So like, it's like one of these things where anything you don't like causes school shootings, and anything you don't like, you now call red pill.
And I think the red pill movement, regardless of what side you're on, has exposed and opened up the door so we can actually talk about it. We can learn.
I think early red pill stuff, and I think the stuff that Rollo said, I agree with you. I think what's happened though is people have I was talking to this one lady, I was talking to one girl about this last night, and she was complaining about stuff that that red pill people were saying. And I was trying to explain the difference between Christ, the church, and Christians. These are three different things, right? Christ is flawless. The church is the mechanism by which you get Christ's word out. And then the Christians themselves are flawed. And it's the same thing, right? There's this red pill dogma. There's YouTube, which is the methodology to get it out. And then there's these fucking autistic spurgs who sit there and call women 304s when their dicks are dry. Like there's the guys at the bottom. It's like Christ, Christians, and the church. And so this is the same type of situation. Rollo is now being held responsible for shit that Pearl Davis said. Well, Pearl Davis said you should repeal the 19th Amendment. Rollo Tomassi never said that. And then it's the other things where Rollo or me or other people will go on other people's shows who disagree with us. But the problem is, because our audience is so incredibly virulent and so, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, fastidious or angry. I don't know what the fuck you want to say it is, but because like YouTube commenters are not indicative of the majority of the population. If you talk to successful men, they don't go and comment on YouTube posts. They don't even know how to comment.
Right.
When you go on there, it's like these extremists that are on there. Well, the extremists in red pill, if you do a podcast with me and you disagree with me on everything, they're going to skewer you. In fact, they're going to go on your channel and they're going to talk shit about you for a long time. Right. I learned this the hard way from debating flat earthers. When I debate flat earthers, the flat earthers, because I beat them so terribly badly, they for years kept coming on to my channel and then leaving comments.
Is there really such a movement of flat
There's
earth?
about 4% of millennials believe the earth is flat right now, today. They think the earth is flat.
That's bizarre.
Yeah,
that's bizarre.
Bizarre.
That's crazy sauce.
You know what I'll tell you what's bizarre? I can't get on Joe Rogan, but Terrence Howard came to go on there and explain that the earth is flat. You guys understand Terrence Howard, all that shit he was saying, those were building blocks for the earth is flat. When he started talking about the gravity isn't real, everything he started talking about there was like verbatim flat earth nonsense, but he wasn't coming out to say that the earth is flat. And so like Terrence Howard is a flat earther. So like that's what's being promoted now because it's more exciting to people. I had so many people hitting me up saying, hey, did you see the Terrence Howard interview on Joe Rogan? I'm like, Terrence Howard's an actor.
I'm sorry. He was saying that gravity isn't real?
He was saying that gravity is real.
And dropping a pen. I wish I had a pen in my hands.
No. Pins drop because of buoyancy, not gravity, according to flat earthers. Like they have an alternate explanation.
Fascinating.
Right. But the point is like, going back to what you're saying, this space, once it opened up and people started seeing like these discussions would go viral, and there's some truth to it. But what happened was later on down the way, it's like, it's actually more entertaining to like make people cry and have them yell at each other. And so we stopped passing along information and it just became sort of like a brawl. It became Royal Rumble at some point. And then you started seeing fake beefs between people. There are people right now who like talk shit about me who are my friends. And like, it's all turned into Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior at this point, Right. Like they pretend to not like each other, but backstage.
Everybody wants that 15 minutes of fame.
For sure.
That sound bite that's just going to like stir things up and they want to see blood and guts and sex and
starting beef is a great way to get some publicity, right? If you get an argument with somebody who's famous and they actually
respond, there's
this
one guy trying to do this with me, and then I just realized like he's gonna have to pay me to even respond to this guy. Like this guy, because all of it looked like we have about the same number of followers on YouTube. And then I went on Social Blade and you can see he bought all his followers. And I was like, oh, I should stop engaging with this guy.
When 50% of your audience is in the South India.
Yeah, it's like South India, Brazil and stuff. It was crazy. Anyway, so red pill, the reason why this is so misconstrued is red pill is essentially is a derivative of evolutionary psychology. And it's also certain anecdotal truths that you've learned over time. But like these truths have been proven over and over again. The derivative of red pill is what people think red pill is. So for instance, people, when Andrew Tate says something, he goes, here's another red pill comment. You'll see like people on the Daily Wire saying that. But Andrew Tate specifically said he's not red pill. So like, it's like one of these things where anything you don't like causes school shootings, and anything you don't like, you now call red pill. Does that make sense?
That makes absolute sense.
But because I believe in gravity, I can read Principia by Isaac Newton, or I could, because I believe in natural selection, I can read On the Origin of Species by Charles Darwin. That does not make me a gravityist or an evolutionist. It's just a lens with which I see things. So I'm like, why is it that we have opposable thumbs? Let me look at what I've learned from evolution to kind of understand an idea. Why do we have probably to use tools, probably so we can throw objects overhand, probably so we could become the apex predator on the planet. That's probably the reason why. When I look through an evolutionary lens, I can probably come up with these ideas. Then I look at the universe around us. I'm like, how come all these objects are spheres? Why do these objects go around each other? Oh, it's probably because of gravity. I can use gravity as a lens with which to look at the world. Well, then I just use red pill the same way. Except I don't specifically call. So what I'm saying is you can't call yourself red pill. There is no such thing as calling yourself red pill. Just because you believe in gravity could mean you could say I believe in objective reality, but you don't call yourself a gravityist. No one calls themselves a gravityist because they believe in gravity. So when you say I believe, I look at red pill. Red pill is a lens with which to look at the world if you choose to. And I only look through that lens in that red pill is a derivative of evolutionary psychology, because to me, that's the most fascinating study in all of science and all of psychology is the concept of natural selection affecting our brains, which the more truths that come out of that one field of study, the more angry people get, because it shows it becomes immutable and indisputable and indefatigable that men and women are different no matter what culture tries to tell us. And when you do that, what happens is you have all these people on the right who don't like the concept of natural selection because they believe in God. And so they don't like evolutionary psychology. And you have all these people on the left and they don't like evolutionary psychology because it describes innate gender differences. So no one likes evolutionary psychology, except evolutionary psychology is actually true. Right. So we get into this weird place. And that's
when did science not become popular?
It was never popular. I mean, you go down to
it's like the truth, right?
Giordano Bruno was he was quartered, like they split him in 4 pieces and gutted him, like for telling the Pope that that there were aliens on other planets and that there were other planets going around other suns. Galilei was put on house arrest for 292 years. They finally forgave him in 1992, put on house arrest for saying that the earth goes around the sun. So no, it was, and these were objective truths too. He had a telescope to prove. You could look at the 4 major moons of Jupiter in 1601, Ganymede, Io, Callisto, and Europa. And it was obvious that what he was saying was true. So the Pope put him on house arrest. And it was just one of these things because they didn't want him spreading this word of a non-heliocentric world, right? The Ptolemaic view of the world. So science has always been not popular.
Right. We're always emotionally centric in society.
Click the link in the description and I'll send you my high status networking playbook so you can start dating high quality women today.